How's it going, everybody? It's me, RDV, and I'm back here with my comic book paw, Eric Breen, as he battles Coco for the wires. Yes. Hello to Jay Lucian, hello to Brian Stam, and hello to Eva Blackcat. Yeah. And he says he's bringing everybody bad luck except for Marania. She needs good luck. Yes. You know what she needs more than good luck? She needs internet. If you can give her that, yeah, cool.
And maybe her health back, because apparently she's not doing too great there either.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Or she eats something, I don't know the situation. I just know that she wasn't feeling good the other day. So even if she said her internet back, she would kind of go to bed early. But apart from that, though, we're here to talk about the new comic books coming out this week. Yes, specifically tomorrow. And Zach is busy working, so he wasn't able to join us tonight. I guess he didn't work on his birthday, so he pushed everything to this week or something. I don't know. But we'll get this going. I'll share my screen here. And if you guys have already done so, please click like and subscribe. Also, check out the Ko-Fi link over there, ko-fi.com/Palpatine, if you want to help support the channel and share out the stream. All right, so not a big selection for comic books for me this week that I was excited about. But I think next week's going to have all my books, probably. Seems that way. All right, get the screen going here. And go here. All right. Are you settled yet?
Oh, not even close.
You're still wrestling the cat?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to start off with my number 5 then. Get this going. And my number 5 this week is Aquaman. I think we're going to have a lot of crossover this week.
I think so too.
You know, and that's not bad. This means that we both acknowledge that there's good books. But like I said, after we're done with this, whatever books that we'll talk about a little bit after this, we'll go through the trades. But anyway, Big Blue Battle Royal. Can the power of Talassa, the Trillions, Saber,
Tapioca.
I know, right? What was that word you had the other night? You couldn't pronounce?
I don't remember.
You could be enough to unite Aquaman and his people. It better be, because if King Arthur is to have a prayer of seeing Atlantis again, he's going to need to hurry. The mystery, there you go. The mystery of the Pearl deepens. The power of the dark tide grows, and a major step on the path to the next big DCU event is taken in this epic chapter of the Dark Tide saga. And that's not a Dan Moore cover. I thought it was at first. The cover for this guy is actually John Timms. Which I think that name sounds familiar.
That's because he's the artist on the book.
Not the interior.
Yeah, he is.
No. It's
yeah, John Timms has done the art on every other issue so far.
Oh, well, it's Michael Shelfer. He's doing the art tonight.
I guess he can't do 2 or 6 in a row.
Yeah. This is Marcio Takara. I guess if he's Doctor Strange. And we got an ugly one from Afu Chan. If you get stuck with this cover, you might as well not even buy the book. That is horrible. Look at that leg. As the Lesters would say, it's fine.
It's probably fine.
It's okay.
Or she'd say, legs don't work that way.
I know, right? This is cool. The George Perez Legacy variant.
Nice.
Already. Every time I see him in this, it's like it's Ian Zelling or whatever this guy is from Sharknado. Zering, yeah. That's what it reminds me of when I see that little the hair and stuff like that. Note to self, he could be an Aquaman movie. Yeah. With Trish Mulville, I guess, does the coloring, maybe? I'm not sure. Or maybe and hopefully she didn't ink over him. But then we get this one, the Pride variant.
Oh, that's right. It's June.
It's June. Yeah, June isn't Pride Month. Sorry, June is pretty much just June.
Yeah.
But overall, I'm looking forward to this. This book is no matter what number it is on my top 5, it's always in my top 5 for the most part because it's just been fun. Jeremy Adams is one of the few good writers at DC that I will go back and pick up no matter what book he's writing. He's also over at Mad Cave. He's been over there for about a year and a half now, to working on Dick Tracy. Oh no, not Dick Tracy. Sorry, I misspoke. Flash Gordon. And yeah, I just love the other books he's attached to. The only one I'm not picking up from Jeremy Adams anymore is the Green Lantern Corps, because it seems like he's his name only, which is sad. But where are we going to for your number 5?
Green Lantern Corps.
Oh, well, if somebody has to like it, right?
It's not a bad book, and his influence is still enough to make it worth getting for me. But
I'm just not a fan of the characters. I mean, I hate Simon Baz, Kate Lantern. If Guy's not being written serious, if he's just written as a joke, it kind of ruins it for me. Says the OS station crew and the field team converge as Simon Baz and Teen Lantern. They call it Teen Lantern. Kelly Quintella meet up with Guy Gunner and his new partner, Lantern Narf. Really? As they all race to escape the crooks of Necrocopia. Hey, forget the Casbah. We're going to Necrocopia. In one piece. All this plus Space Cabbie. All right, Jeremy Adams, Mr. Hampton, and Vacan Marion. They got like 2 artists plus 2 writers. Wow. Serge Acuna. All right. But it looks like we're gonna have Evil Star is a character. We got Laurel or Ellie Stewart and Nazir Amar. It says cameo, but it's weird. And Space Gabby. Is this the first appearance of Space Gabby?
I don't know.
Rocco? I mean, at this point, whether he's new or old, but I don't know. Hopefully you enjoy it. What is Brian says he only has 3 pulls this week. I don't blame you. It's a small week. Yeah, see, right, Coco? It is. Look, cover coming soon. Like, you know what I would do instead of doing this Green Lantern Corps? I would just give Jessica Cruz her own series again. But give it to a guy writing it. None of this Jody Hauser or whoever the one that was writing Hawk Girl. Ugh.
Yeah, that's the problem, though. The new unwritten rules. Straight men aren't allowed to write female characters.
Well, here's the other thing, too. Can we just have Connor, Kyle, and Odyssey in their own book? I know they're always like a backup story in Jeremy Adams' Green Lantern, but I would love to see them in their own little miniseries. Kind of like a new Young Justice. But
that would be cool.
Yeah. But that is your number 5. Now to a book that we both have in our pull list. My number 4 is Geiger. Geiger is a book that I originally, when I first read it, I didn't really appeal to me at all. As the second volume came out and we started reading it, it started to get a lot better. There was a mini series in between. I was kind of like, I don't care about more history of Tariq and a while before and everything, the nuclear thing. I would just want I want action, and that's kind of where we're getting with this. It's really just they're amping up the explosions, everything. You get to see Gary Frank just drawing phenomenal good art in this book. Even does a cover here, I believe it's him and Brad Anderson. That is just an awesome cover. That's why I put it on the thumbnail as the bigger photo. That's cool. You know what makes me wish? they brought back Atomic Skull, or whatever was one for Superman.
I mean, speaking of real quick, Black Cat's fan, Space Cabbie's been a thing since 1954. What was it? What feature was it in? Because I've probably read it and just don't remember.
Yeah. Like I said, if he is, I didn't know if he was or not, but he just seemed like kind of weird. And I wonder whose idea that was. Was that Adams bringing the Space Cabbie thing, or was that his writing partner?
I would imagine that'd be Jeremy Adams.
I know he's pretty crazy with that, so maybe the character will be good. But then we have cover B by Brian Hitch. It's a wraparound cover, which I love the cover A. This is what it's usually they do for comic books, and this is what Ghost Machine does well. You give me an awesome cover A and an awesome cover B, and I'm torn. And I'm most likely going to buy both covers because I love both art, and the story is great. So I don't mind spending out the extra $4 to get that variant cover. Marvel and DC don't know how to do this. They give you a shitty cover, AA, and then the other covers are just horrendous. So you kind of like, okay, I'll just whatever one I get. I just want to look at the cover, rip it off, Yeah. And then we get cover C, Julia Inez Mamone. Cool, the skulls and everything. Yeah, these are all excited like that. This cover or that cover is wraparound, cheesecake, glowing cheesecake, or the giant radioactive skull. This skull, I think cover A is the best. But I also like the wraparound too. Like, I never get Brian Hitch art. So you have Gary Frank and Brian Hitch. I think they're both phenomenal artists, and it's great that we have them doing covers on both on this book. It's awesome. It says as the U.S. Army encloses on Tariq Geiger and Ashley Arden collide in the devastating battle of raw atomic power. But what fuels their explosive showdown, and what's at stake beyond the wasteland? With the lives of his closest and friends and the people of Lewistown, Montana, in jeopardy, Geiger must struggle to control the uncontrollable before he destroys everything. Yeah. So where are we going with this? Are we going stick it on here, or are we going?
No, that's a little farther up the list on me. My number 4 is Supergirl.
Oh, nice. Let's scroll down forever.
I said each issue is on the clock, but for now,
yeah, it is. But it looks pretty good though. I was talking to Amy. I showed Amy this. We were talking about this cover, and she was just like, "Oh, she says Lee loved how it's like it's aimed towards girls. There's nothing on there that is inappropriate. It just looks like an Archie cover. Archie kind of hijinks. They're both fighting over who's Supergirl. They got boring small talk, and they got Titano the Super Ape. Looks pretty good. Yeah. So let's delve into this. The secret origin of Lesla Law revealed. Discover Lesla's transformation from an awkward nerd in Kandor to a bombshell super babe who knew Supergirl's quest for good could inspire such evil. And she is, and this isn't her first appearance. I mean, since her first appearance in Modern, as far as I know, she appeared back in the Silver Age.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So, and I think if I'm correct, I think it's the girl she saves in the first issue, who turns out to be the Supergirl. That's my guess. The one I was infatuated with her, but she told her no, like I need to go. Because she remember the girl asked her, is like, oh, you're better than Superman. That girl. So it says back in Midvale. Yes, Midvale actually is a real thing. Our heroes face a gigantic problem with the kryptonite-like powers. Titano the Super Ape is here to take over the idyllic, you got it right. Yeah. Town. To defeat him, Supergirl will have to rely on an unexpected new ally from Metropolis, Lena Luthor. That's the other plus about this. If she's anything like she was in that crossover with the Scooby-Doo, I think it'll be really cool.
She's been in Superman.
I know, but I mean, I love that personality they gave her in the early 2000s with the DC superheroes crossing over. So Supergirl crossed over with the Scooby Doo. It was a team up, and it was aimed for all kids. So if they keep that kind of where she's kind of like you can't trust because she's always her woman gimmick was she always trying to prove that Linda is Supergirl, but could never get away. Couldn't never prove it. So if they keep that kind of camp evil, like a cartoon friendly, I think it'll be really cool. And I think they're gonna do that. The houses of El and Luthor join in for good in this action-packed second issue. So yeah, I got a feeling this is gonna be a good story.
Now, I'm just gonna say, don't do it.
Don't do it.
I don't want Kara and Lena falling in love with each other.
Oh, that no.
Don't do it.
They stay on the art germ cover because it's a basic DC given. Whenever Supergirl book or anything, he always has to do a cover. So, and she's got the 80s jumper on. That's what it looks like. The 80s sweatpants stuff. Midville. It's a cool cover. Then we got the Homer. Peach Momoko cover. It's like all this. Every time I see it. By Sowie. And then here's a 125. David Talaski. There you go. There's the earmuffs. They're the Mickey Mouse puffs. So, like I said, look at it. It's a 150. Merca and Dolfo.
Yeah, none of those even come close to the regular cover.
Yeah,
because that's the most comic booky cover I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, like I said, remember they had the World's Fire. Was it? Yeah, it's Adventure Comics. They'd always do stuff like that. You'd have they tell you what's going on. You have the 4 different things on the cover, so it looks cool. So that is your number 4. This is my number 3. Where do you want to go to next?
My number 3 is Geiger. So what's your number 2?
My number 2 is a book we haven't talked about. It might be both our number 2s. We'll find out. Number 2 for me, as I scroll down, is Batman Dark Patterns, number 7. This has just been great. I have not read any of the Legend of Dark Knight stuff. I might go back and start reading that if it's better than this.
Well, it's okay. The difference between Legends of the Dark Knight and Dark Patterns,
yeah,
and this probably won't last long enough because nothing does. But Legends of the Dark Knight were story arcs from different creators. Basically every big name in the industry took a crack.
But you had individual stories, though.
Yeah, I said like to be a 3-parter. There's a 3-parter that I think Howard Chaykin wrote and Gil Kane drew. Denny O'Neil had a couple of 5-issue things. I've been reading one recently that forgot who was writing it, but Paul Galassi was the artist on it.
Nice.
And it was just different things, just set in different times in Batman. Now, if an event got so big that they even needed that book every once in a while, they would incorporate it into, I think it might have been incorporated into No Man's Land. But I said, just so when you go to dig into it, just remember that if you find, they're either going to be like the occasional 2, but mostly 3, 4, 5, 6 issue arcs.
Yeah. I kind of, I plan on at least 4 issues or more, but I love that, you get individual stories. They're not necessarily just like an ongoing thing, as far as I don't think they branched into each one another. I think they're standalone, like the animated series was.
Right. That's what Legends was also.
Yeah.
I was saying if they were committed to keeping this book, because Brian's saying that he thinks it's only like a 12-issue series, but if it were like a ongoing, because Legends lasted over 200 issues.
Yeah, I don't think this will go anywhere near. I think this might get.
No, it's
I think this will get. Is it only 12?
Brian said he's seen it. It's only 12 issues.
Oh.
So I'm sure Waters will do all of them. But if it were to last longer, you'd probably get, because I mean, I said, because the legends, the writers weren't even always, like regular DC writers.
Yeah,
because pretty much anybody with a good story arc, they were able to fit them in.
Hopefully you're wrong, and hope this is a continuing to go ongoing, because this is better than the main Batman titles.
Well, from what I understand, Batman and Robin is really good right now.
Sure.
I started back last issue, but I'm kind of trying to just catch up. I'm going to pick it up tomorrow.
Well, the main title is like Detective and Batman.
Those two. So we'll see what happens when Fraction starts new. But
Batman year one, or Batman year one, the one with Mark Waid, has been really good. Yeah. I said, I love this because he doesn't have anybody else. He's not relying on the Bat family. That's what's really appealing to the Mason. He's also doing detective stuff. Like, this is what I love. This is and if that's what Legends was just him working by himself.
Well, it was everything.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them I think occasionally may have involved Robin, but it was mostly just Batman.
Yeah. Because I feel like we have, since the past 30 years, that's all we had is Batman family. Like, I just kind of want Batman by himself doing some stuff, But anyway, I love this art here, this cover, the downs for looking up. He's on some kind of construction site or something like that. Looks really cool. And then here's the variant cover, which might give you a preview of what's going to happen in the inside. Some
Batman fights a bunch of naked men.
Yeah, creatures. Well, actually, no. They're held up by wires.
I know. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well, the first thing I thought of mine was like, is this vermin? But so yeah, two covers there. It says, when a dead body is found burned to a crisp in the heart of one of Gotham's oldest neighborhoods, the Rookery, Dark Knight detective finds himself enmeshed, whatever, in a twisting murder mystery dating back to the early days of the Red Hood gang. I'm all set for this. Hayden Sherman's doing the art in here too. The group editor is Robin Levin, who gives a shit about John Turturro's gay son. Because he probably doesn't have a say in it whatsoever, because the group editor's probably is like, Dan, just do what you want to do. And yeah, Triona Farrell doing the colors on this too. The colors popped in this too as well. And so looking more into this.
They should get Turturro's son-daughter to edit Supergirl and join Tommy Bonvillain and
you want the trifecta?
And yeah.
Every time I see Turturro, it's John, because he looks just like his dad.
I've noticed that at DC, I'll give Sophie Campbell credit. He at least puts an effort into it.
Yeah.
Tommy and Adrian, there's fun. That's what I said.
He said Adrian. Oh, sorry. Oh yeah, you dead named.
I don't know what his real name was.
I think it might have been Adrian.
Who cares?
Who cares? Yeah, it doesn't really care to me. Am I moving on to a different book?
No, that's my number 2. So yes, we're moving on to your number 1.
All right, my number 1's definitely gonna be different than yours. My number 1 is Transformers 21. The face-off you demanded between Optimus Prime and I think it's gonna be Megatron, because it's a spoiler, so it means it's gonna be Megatron versus Optimus Prime. They give you the other Autobots here too, they were on Cybertron, the new Transformer. But if you look at some of the variant covers here, 1 of 10. Here you go. This is a Virgin cover they have for 6. Is it? Basically, if you go online, you can pay for $20 per cover, and you get the connecting covers here. Or I think his name is it Red Alert or Wheeljack? I can't remember. It might have been Wheeljack. But cover B with Jorge Corona has just been great on this. Battle Damage Optimus Prime is always great. And then we got looks like Tidal Wave or is this? It's hard to tell. Might be a Constructicon, some sort. That's the connecting cover. And then we have here the Derek Chu variant. And here's this about Derek Chu. I don't like him when he draws women, but Derek Chu drawing robots, that looks good. They got laser beak and all, yeah, and Soundwave, everything in there.
So which Transformer is that?
Which one? The top here?
Yeah,
that's Megatron.
Okay, because
he turns into a giant gun.
I got crushed Saturday.
I heard
by the other 8.
Because you said you couldn't. I simply heard Zach say like, Bree said he can't even pick out Optimus Prime even if he was in the lineup.
I couldn't.
And he's like, how? How do you not know? He's on everything. You see the Michael Bay stuff.
Because I was probably watching a game. I don't know. Yeah, you know what I remember about the Transformers movie? Megan Fox under the hood.
I know.
That's about it.
That's a lot of it. People just remember
that's pretty much all I needed to remember.
Yeah, the movie, the Michael Bay one didn't look anything like the G1 Transformers. So it's kind of like if you grew up the G1 and got that, I was like, this is just too dark and gritty.
Hey, it could have been worse. If I'd have told him I wouldn't know who Snake Eyes was. I mean, I would just rock all their little nerd worlds.
Well, Snake Eyes is a Nicolas Cage movie.
Besides that,
yeah,
because remember when Tim Lim was, getting on me about not knowing anything about Turtles or Transformers or GI Joe.
So
or Common America.
I only know a few of the GI Joe. I never really watched it. I know Duke is, and Lady J and stuff and all, but like when it comes to like Storm Shadow, I'm like, oh yeah, he's the opposite of Snake Eyes. He's the one that can talk. They're both ninjas. One's in white and one's in black.
But you know what's the best part about when Tim was giving me crap about that? When Eglantine came to my defense, the only problem was he
wasn't your defense.
He was yelling at Ron Lim. Joke never gets old, even if I did.
So this is Starscream. And this is what would really appeal to a lot of kids on growing up because they would take on the forms of like jets and tanks and all that stuff, jeeps and stuff. So as a kid, what does every kid want to play with? Fighter jet, and it was really cool. This is 8 years. This is what Megatron looks like right now because his eyes he was all battle damaged. So he basically connected his eyes to laser beak in order to see. So he has like a bird on his shoulder, like Angleton. And he got the Cobra down there and Destro and stuff.
There was a wide receiver for the Detroit Lions. I think his name is Calvin Johnson, but his nickname was Megatron. And they did a commercial, was one of the Sports Center commercials, where he goes and hides and turns into a vending machine.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing about
that's the most I know about Megatron.
I never really watched the cartoons growing up. I watched here and there. My brother, was 6 years older than I am, was the one that was into that. So I had all the toys. So I'm like, oh, these toys are cool. I had nothing to do with I'd never watched the cartoon until I was older. And and like when I learned like Megatron turns into a giant gun and then he's useless unless, Starscream holds him and shoots somebody. I don't know if he takes over the person, whoever grabs and holds it over him, but it's like you're a gun. Optimus Prime is just got a big end laser cannon, just shoot him, kill him. I always thought that was so weird. The one thing that really drew me into the cartoon, though, I said, for the most part, was the voice acting. Frank Welker, Freddy, Fred from Scooby Doo is Megatron. He voices Megatron. So I was like, what? And then you got Peter Cullen's classic, as Optimus Prime. Also did the voice for Predator. The clicking noise. Thought that was really cool. But yeah, Daniel Warren Johnson really got me into the series because before this, I picked up Transformers here and there. I was never really hooked into it. I know Jay, who's probably in the chat, swearing up a storm and saying like, "This is the best comic book ever, Transformers. How dare you insult it?"
Oh, good God.
I know, right? Exactly. No, as far as sorry, I just saw comments here. Henry, there only was 2 covers for the Batman Dark Patterns. Oh yeah, Meat Locker alternate cover game. Transformer cover A, Sword in the Sky, the best. Yeah, it is. Literally, it right. Whenever I see someone's got their sword raised in hand and their super behind them, I always go to Conan or Evil Dead. He's got the girl on his leg and he's got the sword chainsaw in the air. Always time, I love this. And I love this, the fact that this is the new Transformer they built is based off of Carly, the girl in here, her van. Which, if you know Dan Warren Johnson, if you ever read his other book he did, I'm trying to remember what the name of it was. It's one of the last books I read with Skip. Dang it! But is a basically the van is like a thing that Dan Warren Johnson has created. And that was his mark, leaving his mark on the comic book. But I think I would have thinking back, I probably would have liked this cartoon more had they done what Dan Warren Johnson does in here. So when Starscream, being evil, grabs a human, oops, squishes, he's like, oh, they're jelly filled. If that would have been the cartoon, I probably would have liked it more. But the fact they aimed it towards like 7-year-olds and they couldn't do violence back then. Remember all the if you remember watching the cartoons, like if you watch G.I. Joe, they had laser guns. And I love how they're tying this into with G.I. Joe, that the laser guns they're using are actually powered by Energon. So he's all connecting all together. So it's kind of really kind of cool. But where are we going for your number 1, sir?
Well, to recap, I plugged my old charger back in. It shot straight up to 100%. So I guess I didn't need a new charger.
Oh yeah, thanks, Evil Black. Murder Falcon is the book where that van shows up prior to this. And same design.
The Red Sox just finished off the Rays for a rare victory. My boy Andrew Abbott pitched a 3-hit shutout for the Reds tonight. So all is right with the world. And number 1 is Aquaman. So what else are we going to talk about coming out this week? I see Absolute Batman.
Which
I enjoy, but it is what it is. I mean,
I don't see bigger than the Batman.
I don't know. We got Batman and Robin this week, which, like I said, everybody in my circles raves about.
I don't know if Black Panther comes out this week. Something is Killing the Children, a book that was very popular, but I don't see anybody talking about.
It's kind of like a water cooler show that's been around for about 7 or 8 years. Everybody just there's only the absolute core fans, like all the people that jumped on the bandwagon have long since jumped off.
Like what we do in the shados. The FX cartoon or
series, so whatever a comic book title is a sentence, I figure it's probably
I
read a couple issues. I liked it. It's got all the trappings of anything James Tynion writes. Which means we know that the lead character likes people that look of his gender. I'm going to give that blood type a shot too. I should know better because it's Oni, the same people that are did the other.
We'll get there.
EC stuff, but
there's the Batman Robin. It looks like the Demon Etrigan coming out of it. I'm not sure that supposed to be his. Yeah, it's Etrigan. On the cover. Cool. Who's writing that? Is it Williamson still?
Philip Kennedy Johnson.
Okay, not a big fan of his, but hopefully it's good. Death to Silver Surfer. That's what everybody wants right now. World Tree. That's another book that's been going on, and that popped up, and I can't believe it's on issue 15 for an indie book. Deadpool Wolverine number 6. Yeah, they'll come and go. Look, Phoenix again. Batman and Robin, Jason Todd. For those who want to go back to when Jason Todd was Robin before he was killed, a rebellious, angry young man, and just Batman having to deal with them, go for it, I guess. But I think most people think that Jason Todd is better as Red Hood than he is when he was Robin. Because at this point, I already have. If I want to read a Batman and Robin, I might just pick up. I just keep reading the Mark Waid one with Batman and Dick Grayson as Robin, because I think that's much more but better. Hell, I'll read the Tim Drake one, Batman and Tim Drake. But I don't know. It's Jeff Lemire writing it, so maybe it'll be good. But honestly, I don't really know anything other than Jason Todd gets killed and that's it, and he's revived, becomes Red Hood. Apart from that, I think he stole the wheel of the Batmobile or hubcap, or tried to.
Yep.
And that's it. It's like, and he gets killed, because I don't think he was Robin that long, was he? So does that leave that they can just go back and just write whatever they want? Story?
His first appearance as Robin, I think, was Batman 368, and they killed him off in 429. So
there's enough established there, so they started retconning something.
About 4 or 5 years. Henry is asking for the alternate covers of Death of the Silver Surfer and Absolute Batman.
Death of the Silver Surfer and Absolute Batman. All right. All right. Final Voyage. All right. So we have the Joe Quesada cover. Galactus. That's a name I didn't think I'd see with Marvel again. I thought he was done.
It's kind of like when Carmine Infantino went back to drawing the Flash at DC, but Quesada left. He wasn't fired.
Yeah.
So I think now he's just doing what he wants, which is art, I guess.
Yeah. Nick Bradshaw.
I mean, I like the Quesada cover infinitely better than this one.
Yeah. John Romita Jr. Hidden Gem.
That's John Romita Jr.?
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Yeah, you can tell, but that's really good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's legitimately really good.
And yeah, whenever I see John Romita Jr. Hidden Gem, I'm like, just keep it hidden most of the time.
Well, how about if we just see the hidden gems and he keeps everything else hidden?
Tradmore, second printing.
Yeah, it's pass.
What the hell is that? That's not Silver Surfer. That's Alien. Ron Lim.
Hey, Ron Lim mentioned. He was a regular artist on the Silver Surfer series for a lot of years.
Wasn't he with Stan Lee?
No, Ron Lim started.
Who was the Stan Lee one? Was that Kirby?
When the series?
Yeah, the series, original series.
The series was John Buscema.
John Buscema, okay.
And that was a very very sore spot for Jack Kirby, because he and Stan
were a team.
Disagreed. That was probably their biggest disagreement, is what who the Silver Surfer or what he was. And Stan was Stan became very possessive of the character.
Yeah. So there's a Joe Quesada cover, is the cover B. Then you have the Ron Lim foil variants, the main cover, and then Tradmore variant. But then there's reprints. They're going to do a 1 in 25 Virgin for Tradmore, and second printing is going to have Ron Lim. So,
well, if this book is if they're already planning on a second printing, they must have printed about 46 copies for the first.
My only problem was this: when is it set? Greg Pak writing, so we can Asian Pack.
I'm sure it's set in some kind of possible future.
A new enemy will stop at nothing to steal away everything the Surfer has will be. A single human life may be that side of the Surfer's salvation or damnation. If the Surfer falls, who then wields awesome power comes out to make one of the Surfer's old master, Galactus, devour the worlds. Yeah, because my thing is, if it's set in a world where Johnny still has an ugly freaking mustache, I don't want to read it.
You mean if it's set in a world
where a guy sleeps with a bug? Ugh. Yeah, no thanks. So that's that cover. Then here's Absolute Batman. That's the main cover here. just don't like how Batman looks like he's just been like, me Batman, me fight you. He looks like Bizarro Batman.
No, Bane looks like he's on loan from
Bane head.
Yeah, from 1993 Image.
Big time collectibles, Cowabunga Comics Heroes. They basically are online exclusive. This is a looks weird. I was like, why is this? So he can turn his cowls forward? That's weird. I guess that's how Kelly Jones drives, right? They pull forward.
What are you talking about? Kelly Jones gives Batman his ears are so big, he needs to push him down when he's driving a convertible.
Yeah, they fold down. What the heck?
Why not?
There we go.
Porcupine Batman.
This is Batman. He does not skip leg day. Dear God,
This Batman doesn't skip any day. Look at his arms.
I know. Jeez. This looks more like classic Batman here. It doesn't look huge. And that's probably the best art I've seen for a Batman like this. But I don't like him have a battle axe. What is this, Batman like the last days of Gotham City? Jeez.
That's his battle-axe.
What was that? Last Days on Earth? That's what it reminds me of. Like that. It's dystopian. He has a battle axe. Oh, Justin Nguyen. That is just ugly. Oh, look at this. The Dan Hip. Do you know what Dan Hip is, right?
No.
You should know because Dan Hip did all the Teen Titans Go art covers.
Oh.
Yeah. For a while. He was doing a bunch of them on the second volume. Here's Bane. Brian Boland variant. What is Bane? What does he need a gun for? Also, can we get Bane with the khaki pants? I'm tired of the leather. Man, the guy's so like jacked up that his nipple is so small. Whoa, I take it back. Jeez. That is just that is just gross. Look how small Batman is. It's like David versus Goliath now. The funny part, this makes Batman. This actually makes Batman look normal size.
Oh, there's Batman.
Yeah, he's right there.
Oh, I couldn't find him for a minute.
It actually makes Batman look like he's actually normal size. So I don't like Bane being that ugly and disgusting, but hey, if Batman can be normal size in a comic, sure. Oh, there we go. Carrie Andrews, the one that Zach likes.
Oh, that art is so great.
No,
look at that 87-inch bicep.
Look at his face.
Yeah.
He looks like, hey, what's up, guys? I'm the Thing. I got the wide face, the jaw. Oh. Why is he standing? Oh, I thought his legs were like these are together. I didn't realize, yeah. I'm sorry. No, thank you. And yeah, here's the cover for that one. Yeah, so. All right. Other books coming out here is Conan the Barbarian coming out this week, which I'll be picking up. We could skip the giant-sized Dark Phoenix saga. We don't need that. Trinity, Daughter of Wonder Woman, #1 comes out.
I saw where she's on the Pride cover, so I guess.
Yeah, she's gay.
Yeah, of course she is.
I read that. I read that. I went through that Pride book, and no one should ever have to go through that book. It was horrible.
Yeah.
Midnight and Apollo. Hey, finally! And
yeah, I know. And they're like, it's like Mariko Tamaki wrote it because were they fighting over the last piece of toast or something?
So was it? I think it was Mariko Tamaki. That was somebody else.
No, I think it centers around food. So
they go out and like they're having breakfast and all the finally just had sex or whatever. And he goes out and then some guy with a gun is like, "There's a problem with you, queers. You're the problem." Holds a gun to him and Midnight's out there and like the guy's gonna shoot him, but then the gun he fires a bullet, but it comes out like flowers and confetti and stuff. And yeah, it was every neighbor. Hey neighbor, a guy and a guy, girl and a girl, two girls with a kid. Even the dog's probably gay. It was just so bad. Yeah. It was like normal people don't act like this in books. It was clearly over-expanding in a fantasy world.
No, I say, yeah. I don't know about Joe, but I know Josh saw it and hated it.
Yeah, yeah.
So, like, again, about my question is, how gay do you have to be to appreciate that book?
I think that, well, as I said, I don't know who they're pandering to because the people aren't buying it.
Well, they're pandering to each other. You know,
sure.
It's like,
I know, but it means like,
gee whiz, look how progressive we are. And to me, it's, like I said, I don't know if it like offended Josh, but I know he had absolutely no use for it.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was offended by it because, I mean, honestly, it's wasn't realistically. It was set in a. It's like the way I would describe it. It'd be like a straight man trying to write a gay book.
I disagree. A good straight writer could write a better gay book than any gay that was on that book.
Yeah, it felt like someone who was writing it had no idea anything about that lifestyle.
See, the problem is, yeah, well, if you're straight and you have gay friends, or you do something that real writers do, it's called research.
No, there definitely wasn't research in there.
When they don't, because the writers were cast, and you get the LGBTQIA BR 549 plus whatever that they hired are, most of them have mental issues anyway.
What the heck? Torrin Grunbeck is writing a Spider-Girl book.
Yeah, no thanks.
String page of Pirate Blast comes the sensational Spider-Girl. After Bullseye's betrayal, Spider-Girl is trying her hand to be hero, but when the clash with the Vermin reveals a major spider nemesis is tracking her, Spider-Girl will have to figure out what this villain wants and which of her allies will try to kill her next. You know what, though? I might read it online. Give it a shot.
Mayday Parker, Aranya.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah,
yeah. I said I don't need a 7th generation watered down, little girl copy of a little boy that Dan Slott created.
Her name is
hoping it would get used in a movie.
Young Hawaiian mutant who became Spider-Girl, protege of Bullseye. It's an Elseworld?
I guess
Dan Slott and Michael Cho created it. Yeah.
Yeah, don't care.
I understand. I like Torrin Grunbeck as a writer. I'm just saying I might.
But that doesn't.
But I won't buy it though.
I do not. She does not get the Jeremy Adams treatment. And like I said, I mean, I don't know if there's any writer, including Jeremy Adams, that could write that Spider-Girl and make me interested.
What could be worse, the Marvel Pride book, or we have the other one? What did I see? Fire and Ice.
Well, okay. Here's the problem. I see a bunch. I see a bunch of characters that should still be straight. Like I said, Black Cat. Fuck out of here with that.
At least, yeah, the middle right there. All 5 of them should be. When again, I think that actually that's not King Markle. That's a different.
No, that's the Gaijin.
Yeah. So the Hercules, Iceman, Kitty Pryde, and Black Cat should all be straight.
Look, America was bisexual when she was created. Okay, that's fine. Dakin was bisexual when he was created. That's fine. Psylocke, not. I don't know who the other one is. They're twinkling around.
Where do you see Psylocke? The one on the left is Nico.
Okay. Nico's gay now?
Apparently so.
Oh, because I knew Carolina Dean was, but that was
them, and I'm not sure who the girl on the right is. It's not the girl from the Runaways, is it?
No, it says Carolina Dean.
Okay, but the girl on the left,
or it's Julie Power. I don't know. They all look alike.
Yeah. So, but here's the biggest problem. I have a problem. Who? This dude should not be a Captain America thing.
Oh well, yeah, true.
Yeah. Oh, let's look at the rest of the covers because that's what we're here for. Anybody who actually know we're ripping on this, anybody who actually is gonna buy this, tell me what's so great about it. You know, and I challenge you to tell me what's the best story in this book you think is gonna be. And on Thursday night when we do best of the week, if you read it, tell me what was the best story and why. But yeah. And also, the other big question is, are you okay with straight characters being turned gay for pandering? And if you are you upset if they made a gay character straight? It's the same thing.
Well, I'll answer that. The people that they are targeting with these absolutely would be, they would blow up like Mount St. Helens if they turned a gay character straight, or if they turned a previously straight, now gay character back to being straight, because those are the same people that are having meltdowns over the white Black Panther, but cheer every time a white character is race swapped because it's nothing but pandering.
They're going against Red Hood. It's Red
Skull.
Sorry, it's a Red Skull. You know what? I'm with Red Skull. only Nazis hate. Wait
a minute. Jubilee's gay now?
Which one is she?
Isn't that her right on top of America Chavez? Or is it, no, that's
Rachel Summers.
That's Rachel Summers. Yeah, I forgot she's gay now.
Yeah.
Because of course she is.
Gwen pulls up there. We got, is that North Star? Wow. They remembered he's and then a bunch of made up characters. Yeah.
Yeah, don't
care. Shatterstar?
Yeah,
that is?
Yeah.
Wow. Good. And then we have Fire and Ice coming out this week too. Joanne Stair. Which has just the alternate cover. Man, they make Ice look even worse. I think that's possible. All right. Let's quickly go over the next ones, and then we'll scroll through. There's Blood Type. That's what you're talking about? I didn't even see this. Under the pages of Epitaph from the Abyss, a monstrous new EC comic. Milestone rises from the grave this June. Serialized first issue is EC's first ever serialized horror spectacle from Hugo War-dominated writer Karina Bechko, who did Cruel Universe, Green Lantern, Earth 1, Eisner award-winning artist Andrea Sorrentino, follows Old Man Logan, artist. Rising for the pages of first appearance in this last fall's Epitaphs from the Abyss, number 3, EC's own blood-spattered Bon Vivant vampire will be making history as the first character to claw her way out of the iconic EC Comics short story. And in the first ever standalone serialized horror stories for the most notorious name in terror. When you're a vampire, everybody sucks, sooner or later. Meet Ada, an immortal vampire whose misdeeds have landed her on the doorstep of an idyllic Caribbean resort, an island paradise teeming with wealthy tourists, superstitious locals, and an ample food supply for the thirsty vamp looking to get away from it all. But as Ada stalks the boundaries of her new hunting ground, she'll soon become embroiled in a deadly game of cat and mouse by moonlight, as an older, wiser, entirely different kind of predator reveals its carnal hunger for greed and power. Who will survive to be the brand new kind of blood type declares on a war on a cunning bloodsucker with nothing left to lose, and what will be left of them. So it's her versus a werewolf. Vampire versus a werewolf. That's what it looks like. You know what? I might pick this up if they have my shop has this. This is cool. She got the intestines out. Kind of morbid. She just ate a whole people that were going in the boat. So there you go.
I like that one. That's that's a takeoff from an early Mad when it was comic book size.
They said there was a vampire in the cemetery, but there's no one here but a little child. Could pull the hat on. This is kind of cool. It's a 120. This, not so much. I wouldn't pay it for 150. This looks kind of weird.
No. This
looks like an interior page.
Yeah.
Like the title page. This is cool. Kyle Hots.
You know, I'm not a Kyle Hots fan.
Yeah.
But I like this.
All the skulls embedded in the tree. Got the guy, and she's actually reading her own book with the guy leaning over her. That's cool. And there's the Zach variant. That's cool. So we'll quickly get out here, and then we'll go through. Armor Darkness number 3 comes out. Bad interior art. Not that great. There's the Batman.
FF6 and Batman 9. Those are the Batman 6. That's the first Submariner Dr. Doom team up.
Yep. Yeah. Then there's the Batman number 9 facsimile. Gotcha Man number 10. What else we got here? This is the one I'm looking forward to, the facsimile. I picked up the first one a couple weeks ago, with Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. Not a standalone. Mm-hmm. This is the one with the Mad Hatter now. So I'll be picking that up. That's on my pull list. Graven Tales of Terror. Looks like we got some second printings. Back issue, if it comes out. Getting it. If it doesn't, oh well. Battle Beast, second printing by Ron Ollie. And there's a foil version of that. And looks like a foil version of the FF and foil over that. Can we get rid of the foil version? Let's bring I want to bring back the lenticular covers. I think I'm not a fan of foils.
There's Cryptology that my store might get since they got the other 2 last week.
This was a good cover book. This is the Arthur Adams second printing cover. I like this. It's basically she has a gun that's a pacifist. It's a talking, the reason she has it because it's her dad's gun, and she's she's basically like one of the look down society. They have like different levels. They have the rich elite, and then there's the middle class, then there's the poor, and then there's the below that. And it's where she's from the slums. She's a bounty hunter, and her dad was a cop, and was killed. And she's basically been trying to find the murderer, but also has to deal with other problems. And there's a giant space monster that just broke out of prison and just killed people. So, Kerbal, you pick up the Jack Kirby collectors at all?
I don't.
I feel like I should. Become kind of cool to read more about Jack Kirby stuff, but all right. Snow Monkey, and there's the other variant. Why would I want a variant of the number 6? I mean, I love Emanuela Lupacino, but I don't want a variant of an older cover if it's a facsimile.
Tampering with facsimiles makes no sense to me.
Here's a original variant of last week's Ghost Annual.
Yeah, only $50.
And right, only $50, right?
Yeah, sure.
On an exclusive. And then I guess Webtoons, they have Sonic the Hedgehog. I'll have to check that out. All right. And yeah, we're getting into a lot of variant stuff. So let's go here. Let's go into the trades this week. Catwoman, Vengeance, and Vindication. What issues does it collect? 'Cause I might actually have these. Nice House on the Lake. We got the new 52 Omnibus with Red Lanterns. 1994, 96. It's going 43 for 44. 13 through 32. That's a good chunk in the middle there.
Yeah.
Chuck Dixon, yeah. Shadow of the Bat, 43 and 44. The Showcase, 95, number 4. Including many never collected before Tales. Cool. Sly Fox, remember him? Steel Jacket. Mouse. Yeah. Cat Shadows. Was it Catman 110 Showcase? Batman Shadow of the Bat 44. Yeah. So if you don't have this, if you're looking to collect these issues, this is a good way to have some of the story collected because there are crossovers with Shadow of the Bat. I know some of the earlier issues of Catwoman, there was crossovers with the basic Batman too, as well. All right. What else got going here? G.I. Joe, book 1. Here's Annihilation. Annihilation, modern era epic collection. I think that might be the new one. Strange Academy. What? Fantastic Four Omnibus, Volume 6, hardcover. That might be worth having. If you don't have the Epic collection they've been shoving under your throat for the past 10 years.
Yeah, speaking of Marvel and collections, you see where they canceled the Masterworks line?
No, but I'm not shocked because I don't really see anybody really buying those.
Well, they're I saw John did a video about that today, John Delarose.
Yeah.
Saying that collectors are outraged, but I think as far as value goes, those are the worst of the bunch. Because you get like 10, 12 issues for $75. I mean, they're nice hardcovers, but I'd rather have the Epic collections.
Now, here's the one thing. If the Epic collection start doing the Golden Age one, the Golden USA, whatever books they had back in the Golden Age, Marvel stuff, before it was Marvel, when it was back when it was like Atlas. Timely, whatever. Yeah. Uh-huh. If we had that, or at least Submariner and all that stuff, sure, that's collected in Epic collections. But right now, those are going to be out of print now. You're going to see Masterworks probably going up in value a little bit because you're not going to be able to get the reprints probably.
Well, they already are out of print.
Yeah,
80% of the Masterworks are out of print now. Anyway,
so my shop had a bunch of them. I got that Miss Marvel one, which I bought, and I have Volume 2, and I put in the auction. So, and I think Zach's bought it. Like, it's going to become hard to come across those. But maybe who knows? Maybe you'll start seeing half price books. Fantastic Four Omnibus Volume 6. There's the George Perez cover. Then we got Frank Miller and John Romita Jr. drawing Superman.
Yeah. No.
Universe by Steve Ditko. The DC Universe.
But Black Cat, they were too expensive. I mean, I said, Omnibus would have almost 40 issues for about twice the price of a Masterworks. That would have maybe 12 to 15 at the most.
Giant size Spider-Man. Alternate covers.
I have a bunch of Masterworks, and I love them.
I didn't see that. I'll have to go back. I'll go back and look at that. Oh
crap! Who was writing it? I can't remember. It had a Fantastic Four team up with them. And it's $8.
Oh, yeah. I'll go back and look at it. Yeah, he just wants to look at the Spidey. He likes looking at covers. Batman Scooby-Doo Mysteries Volume 6 has been really cool. Ivan Cohen's been writing those. Those have been going on since 2022. They're on their third volume. Or I guess, Volume 6, but I mean, they're on their third year or third or fourth year of doing those. You got Spawn, Looney Tunes.
Yeah, I'm curious. Pop open that Daredevil Masterworks and see how many issues there are and what they're up to in price.
$75.
Okay, so it's 75.
4 issues.
No, it's not more than that, but it's it's 11 issues and
15.
A thing from Fanfare.
So 12 issues.
Yeah, that's not worth it.
No.
Hell, you can get the back issues themselves for less than that. What's great about Masterworks in the early days is they were books you couldn't afford the actual copies of.
Well, weren't they also one of the very few hardcover trades?
Well, they were. They came out around about the same time as the DC Archives, and that was 36 years ago now.
Yeah. But now there's so many different versions, Epic collections. There was Essential. They kind of don't need them.
Oh,
look, it's Zach.
Why Epic collections aren't published in order is I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know either. But also, can we just stretch the cover, get rid of the gray part?
Oh, that's the gray part's the best part of the cover.
Is it?
Yes.
I love the detail. Yeah, but that should be the back of the book.
Before we get Zach's top 5, can you blast through the rest of them and see if there's anything else that coming out that's worth looking into?
Yeah.
Because we're actually now getting kind of pressed for time.
Yeah.
Are you actually pressed for time?
We have the cover rankings tonight.
Oh, what's the covers tonight?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
But they're important.
They're important.
That Sword of Conan on this volume 5 coming out through Titan Books. What a way to collect these if you have not. These have been coming out, but $150 a piece, 125
a piece
is kind of ridiculous. But, Exiles. Hey, in case you missed an issue, there's a Compendium 1 for the GameStop version compendium of Transformers.
GameStop's getting their own version. That's weird.
The fact that GameStop's even around is weird too.
That is also true.
What was the other one? GameFly?
I thought that was an online company. That was like you know how Netflix used to be like you ordered DVDs.
There was EB Games, which was bought out by GameStop, and then there was another one too.
GameFly did like the rentals, the online rentals, basically, like old school Netflix.
I just remember you could go into one. There was one here. It wasn't a GameStop. I go into it, and I was able to just like check out games. But yeah, I remember GameFly was the first online rental thing like that.
Yeah.
And I think that now GameFly they get bought up by Microsoft or something like that.
Possible.
Or Xbox, because that's what they use for Game Pass. Wouldn't be surprised. Zach, where are we going for your top 5? Or you could just read them off too. But I'm sure we already have a couple.
I'm sure y'all have already discussed them. But I caught like half the stream. I was driving up from the bayous and I caught half the stream.
We talked about Absolute Batman, Transformers.
Yep.
Geiger, Supergirl.
Not getting Supergirl. Are you getting Supergirl?
Yeah.
Yeah, we both are.
That's right, because you really liked the first issue. That's right.
Yeah. Did you read it at all?
No, I did not.
Oh.
I did not
Surprisingly
read it.
good.
I saw a preview that made it look like what is this one girl from the city of Kandor? Like she had like a lesbian crush on Supergirl, I guess. Or maybe she just really wanted to be Supergirl.
It wasn't. There's no hint of it being sexual.
Okay.
But when it said it's an all trans creative team, so I can see
where.
That's why I said each issue is on the clock.
Right.
Here you go, Henry. This was Kevin Smith, Al Ewing, Chip Zdarsky, Giuseppe Camuncoli.
Who did that
Buckingham.
cover?
That is artist Kefu.
Interesting.
Never heard of him. So he wanted to look at the covers real quickly. He was with that.
No, I mean, I got Absolute Batman is on the list. Geiger is, of course, on. I got 6 books this week that are on. That's
a cool
actually
cover.
pretty cool.
Lee Romero.
Like
Yeah, with the web shooters on the outside.
That's pretty nice.
Let's almost look at Alex Ross a little bit.
A little bit.
Vaguely.
A little bit.
Legs don't bend like that.
Lee Bermejo is a really close.
He's very good.
Talent level to Alex Ross.
He's very good.
Every time I see that, like I said, the wrinkle in the suit that reminds you of those Marvel books that Alex Ross was doing.
Yeah,
he's,
Marvel.
He's up there with that other guy.
Remember when was that Alex Ross when they're
it was called Marvels.
Yeah, the cafe scene.
Yeah,
cover. Cool. All right. There you go. That was out there. Was. What else? Case you.
Yeah. No. In orders of it, I don't know here. Transformers number 5. No, Geiger number 5. Transformers number 4. Green Lantern Corps is going to be number 3. Space Cabbie is coming back. That's exciting. Aquaman is going to be number 2. Yep. And Absolute Batman is, of course, number 1. That Mr. Freeze story was much shorter than I anticipated it being. If it's already moving to Bane.
If you want the best Mr. Freeze story, watch the Batman series from the 90s.
I will also say there is another series I am morbidly curious about, and I am.
Is it a vampire one?
First issue? No, it is. It was advertised about a month or so ago as the new Thunderbolts book, and then after the movie came out, they revealed that it's the new Avengers book. And it's the one with like Bucky and Black Widow and Carnage and Hulk and I think Namor and a couple other McKay related characters.
This one here? Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
Wait a
I'm
minute.
morbidly curious.
Carnage is an Avenger now.
Carnage is, yes. It's
No.
Eddie Brock is Carnage.
Yeah.
First of all. It's not
okay.
Cletus.
It's not Cletus.
No, it's not
Yeah.
Cletus. It's Eddie Brock.
If it was Cletus, that'd be awesome.
That would be weird. And I don't. That's the one. That's the one member I don't particularly care for on an Avengers team. Anyway, is Eddie Brock, but
Is that Gogurt Hulk?
No, that's Bruce.
Yeah,
that's Bruce. That's Brucey.
Wait a second. So, how can he be in the new Avengers when he's
off in space?
Yeah, off in space in the Hulk, his own book.
So
yeah.
Hey, Marvel.
It's a great question. It's really more. It's almost more of a Defenders lineup than an Avengers because you've got Clea, Strange, Namor, and Hulk. It really almost fits more in a Defenders way, but whatever.
We're seeing Clea Strange.
Look, there's the true Wolverine.
Yeah, the true Wolverine.
She's a duplicate, though.
She's a what?
They're saying duplicate on here.
Oh, she's.
So I guess are they going against clones of them?
I have no idea.
The allies will do anything to take the duplicates out. It says that they're going to demented duplicates of the Illuminati are threatening the world, and if they figure out how to work together, they'll be unstoppable as originals.
Yeah.
Wow, that's showing a lot of faith in the movie that they didn't use any of the characters from the movie other than Bucky.
Right.
I mean, I like Clea Strange, but only when she was in the Doctor Strange book with her husband, because
it's a very weird lineup of characters, which is kind of where part of my interest is coming from.
I feel like Namor would not want to work with any of these people. But like, I'm just going back to the ocean.
Accurate.
Which
Humphries, I could take or leave as a writer. I really don't.
But Black Cat just made a statement that's really rare in comics today.
Oh.
It is heterosexuality in the book, according to the previews. What was that?
Bucky and Black Widow, maybe?
Well, they were
lovers
when Ed Brubaker was writing The Winter Soldier.
Weren't they kind of lovers back in the Black Widow book?
Yeah, the Black Widow book. Yeah, they were being, I think, by Kelly Thompson. They were lovers too. Or actually,
that's them. It's them too. Yeah, they're in bed and yeah.
You had Bucky as well. Bucky and Clint were basically trying to rescue Natasha, who basically had gone long kiss goodbye again. Yeah. Where she thought she was a housewife and everything,
Zach, did you read The Winter Soldier that Brubaker wrote in like 2012 into 2013?
Negative.
It was basically the same people that had gotten a hold of Bucky, the same Russians, got a hold of Natasha and reprogrammed her.
Mm-hmm.
And they had Nick Fury was involved.
So that's what the Kelly Thompson was kind of like that too. Is she basically the villains basically knocked her out, she fell from a building, and then next thing you know, she's in like this a suburban setting where she has a husband and a kid, a daughter.
Well, no, they turned her in. I mean, they turned her into a killer.
Oh yeah,
and they had to keep her from killing everybody in sight.
Yeah. So,
and besides, I said, you don't compare other writers to Brubaker. It's just not fair.
You really don't. It's not fair. And especially Sam Humphries, who the last thing I read from Humphries was they gave Star-Lord a miniseries, and that's the one where they broke up him and Kitty Pryde, which made me angry at Sam Humphries.
Kitty likes
Can I just point out that Bucky looks like an emo version of like Nightwing?
Yeah, I think that's why they make him look like that, so they get all the girls to like him. But they told Sebastian Stan originally when they cast him, they were like, "Hey, you're going to be Captain America if you stay with us long enough because he is in the comics."
Yeah,
and then they screwed him over. But
they gave it a Namor in the background. This is actually a good cover.
It just took time to get to. You're talking about Captain of many different things.
Captain Wilson. That's what I call him.
What's with the ambulance thing?
The asterisk?
Yeah. Well, these are in ambulances all the time. You ever see those on the side?
No, that's not the ambulance logo. That's an asterisk.
Yeah, they have the orange. Yeah, and it has like the.
No, they did that because that was the big thing that was on the movie title, and everybody was like, "Why is there an asterisk?" That's actually a pretty clever cover. I kind of
Yeah,
this is kind of reminiscent of Dark Avengers #1.
Yeah, Dark Avengers or New Event. The first New Avengers.
It's supposed to be. It's a homage variant. Yeah.
I thought it looked more like the New Avengers.
I guess it does. Which I guess Dark Avengers was kind of homaging New Avengers 1.
Yeah. I think
Hulk just want to be left alone and listen to the Cure.
Why does the Hulk look emo?
I just said he wants to listen to the Cure. He's mad.
The hair in the rain.
The Cure is awesome. How dare you
Sam Humphries apparently wrote a great Nightwing. I did not.
The Hulk is probably more of a Smith's guy.
What was it? Amazing Spider-Man #2?
That might have been a variant of the new series. It's on like #5 or 6 now. So it may not have any variant. That might be a variant.
Amazing Spider-Man
I'm actually
#2.
curious. What else has Humphries written besides Star-Lord? He wrote some Dial H for Hero. Like
Spider-Girl. I don't think there is a big Spider-Man #2 at all coming up this week.
There might be some kind of something.
I'm not
really sure it probably is a variant because I said that title's several issues past that now.
Maybe it's a reprint.
I'll do that. I'll just do this and do.
Pepe Larraz responded to a really old tweet, a 2-year-old tweet of mine that he responded to it. That's interesting.
He said I would have gotten back to you sooner, but I didn't care.
I guess so. No, he said because my original tweet was how his art in Big Game #5 was really, really good.
If this was,
thanks, glad you liked it. I'm like,
if this was the original cover for the actual book instead of being a exclusive web store thing variant, I'd be reading Ninja Turtles every week.
That's a pretty good cover.
I mean,
pretty great cover.
She's white, she's attractive, and she can help out.
Excuse me, April O'Neil is black and chunky. Probably with an Afro puff.
Oh, it's Gen 13 variant covers tonight.
Oh.
So I guess the Lesters won't be there.
No, they will be. Amy said she's going to.
Oh, really? Isn't Gen 13 like more cheesecakey?
Yeah, but not overt. I mean, yeah, it's more bikini. I mean,
there you go. There's a Dark Phoenix.
Oh, are they doing a facsimile?
This is the one. These are variants. This is a Virgin variant.
But is this the facsimile of the original, or is this
no? This is the new one.
There's a joke in there somewhere.
The Kamala Khan is now part of it. It's that one.
Yeah,
the one with the dominatrix gear is the Virgin variant.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Right.
I wanted to make sure because I was like, oh, I can pick up a facsimile of the Dark Phoenix saga.
No, this is the new one.
Gotcha.
And I would literally just right click and save as.
Yeah,
because I'm not going to spend whoever they want. But I didn't see Amazing Spider-Man, Henry, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think there's a new Amazing Spider-Man this week.
Unless you're talking about in the trades. I didn't see anything in trades that was even that close to that. Come on.
I think when I was on the earlier today, and I didn't see Amazing Spider-Man anywhere. I don't think it's an Amazing Spider-Man kind of week. That's next week is Amazing Spider-Man #6. But they're already on 6. That's weird. Doesn't feel like it's been going that long. Titans #24. Actually, I'm behind. I didn't realize it's been 24 issues of Titans. I need to pick up a trade for Titans. I want to see what John Layman's doing with them.
Yeah, there's nothing here for Mike. So I don't know where he saw it. Maybe he thought he saw it. Is that Clea in the Avengers now? Yeah, the new Avengers thing, Clea. They brought Clea back in the Jed McKay's Doctor Strange book that came out 2 years ago, and she was actually done very well.
Yeah.
For a while, when he was killed off with Marvel, she became
it's if you keep scrolling down, Spider-Man 2 second printing cover.
Second printing. That's what it was.
Variants. So it's a variant.
There you go. By the way, don't spill energy drink on your cell phone. It's not fun cleaning up after. It's my lesson of the day. Hey, there's a little Raycar. We have a Raycar? I can't tell if that's him or if that's another user.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
I mean, it's way down.
It's way at the bottom?
Yeah. Because the second printing, so it's past like all the cryptology and all that shit.
Yeah, the second printings are usually going to be like, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
They're right there.
Right next to the Godzilla versus Spider. They have a second printing to Godzilla versus Spider-Man? Really?
Yeah, I know. Everything's getting, yeah.
That's weird. I mean, hey, if it's selling, good for them, but that's weird. I do like that cover. That's a good Pepe Larraz work. I like that.
Why don't you tell him, and then in 2027 he'll tell you.
In 27, I'll hear back.
Here's your 1/100.
Wow, she looks like
Gifted.
it's not a pretty face.
She looks like an old lady.
Is that Greg Land?
No, that was Pablo Villa, whatever it is, available.
The J. Scott Campbell swimsuit is better.
Yeah. Daniel.
Surprised they're doing those.
Tony S. Daniel. The Rhino just being angry because he could never win.
The Rhino is just always angry.
There you go.
Oh, I know that guy. Oh, God. I'm sick of him.
That's Chris Giaroso.
Oh, I thought it was Dan Hipp. Never mind.
There you go. Exclusive Joseph Michael Linzer drawing her like a slut.
I like that.
Hey, hey.
That's the dress she was dancing in Spider-Man 60.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the tongue thing, that's new. I don't think that was in the
That's not slutty. That's just come hither.
Well, you know what she was waiting for was for Paul to come around.
Paul. Sure. I'm so ready for somebody to give.
You know what I want? I want a Dazzler book, but written by a straight guy who actually understands character, and it's written, and it takes place in the 70s.
Well,
you know, we had
they had one. It took place in the 80s. It was called Dazzler.
Yeah, but I mean, I wanted to go back and just do more of that.
You know, we had a book with Dazzler, and it wasn't written by a straight or male, but it was really good, and it's called Exterminators by Lee.
Also, you notice that these are taken from like the updated versions. Look at that art; it's horrendous.
For who?
All these character art they grabbed these from.
The Rhino one's not bad. What are you talking about? Hobgoblin doesn't look bad. I mean, they're also really tiny on my screen.
I like that one. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
David Nakayama.
Nakayama?
Yep.
I like Nakayama. He draws cute women.
Oops. Uh-huh.
That's not bad. Those hips, though.
Yeah. Trying to find the other cover. There's that one.
Well, Edith sent the link.
I don't like Jack Link, so.
Oh, they're good. I had two today.
But we're going to end it right here, though. Once again, guys, if you haven't clicked likes, just hit subscribe. Check out the Ko-Fi link, which is actually, if you look just above us over there, Ko-Fi.com. So support this channel. And we'll be back on Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern, for the best of the week. And I'm curious to see what books in our top 5 actually were good. Maybe we'll only have a top 3.
Yeah. I'm going to see how funny is it going to be if that Sam Humphries New Avengers book is the best book of the week.
Right?
Wild. It'll never
I don't know, man. Transformers is advertising. It's gonna be Megatron versus Optimus Prime.
It could only be.
If it's not, they say spoiler, but I'm like, if it's not that, that's gonna put that book at the bottom of the pile.
It could really only be Optimus versus Megatron. It really could.
Yes. And I want Optimus Prime to have an energy sword again. That's what I want. Energy axe.
Optimus had a battle axe, I thought.
Yeah, the energy battle axe.
Yeah, the battle axe. I heard you dissing Absolute Batman's battle axe. I heard that.
You know what I was dissing? What I was dissing about is the fact that every time I see him with a freaking battle axe, I think it should be like an apocalyptic version of Batman. It looks more like Dark Knight's metal. The axe would have fit better in that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead and head over. I'll tell him you'll be there in a couple minutes.
Yeah. All right. So you guys know the drill. If you haven't done so, click like and all that fun stuff. We'll be back on Thursday. thank you for joining us. Quick shout out to everybody who showed up in the chat here. We had Jay Lucian, Brian Stam,
Yay!
Eva Black Cat,
Cat!
Henry Jeremic,
Jeremy!
Dave Hasanowicz,
Ray Car!
Sex and Idiot. Oh, and I can repeat that one. Oh,
It's not inaccurate. It's not.
it's a name. It's a name in there. Oh.
It's not entirely inaccurate.
Yeah, but and Summoner, what's up? Henry Jerk says a lot easier for me to fill the gaps in my collection. Buying Masterworks and Omnibus and old books cost too much. Yeah, they do. Trades is the way to go. Little Ray Car, what's up? Thank you for showing up, man. Just hello, Mr. Zach, and hi, you guys. Good comic.
Mr. Zach, that's hilarious.
I know, right? How's it going, Little Ray Car? Anyway, see you guys later.
Bye.